So outside we have the 2 water tanks out there, so we have 40,000 gallons of water. And then there's the 6 bulk fertilizer tanks. We have 2 tanks set up right now for UAN. We have 2 tanks set up for ATS. We have 1 tank of a starter, and then 1 tank will probably be 1034O for blending liquid fertilizer. Because we will be able to also blend liquid fertilizer through the same system. What I'm going to talk about mostly is our hot loads, or our liquid pesticide blending. Those are receiving lines for our bulk tanks. We have 6 bulk tanks, and then there's a cage tote rack over here. That tote rack, there's 8 spots. All of those spots are tied into our bulk weigh tank. When an order comes in to an agronomist or a salesman, they put it into AgVance as a blend ticket. AgVance sends the blend ticket to the Kaler system. So as long as those products are set up in the Kaler system, this year was a bit of a struggle because we didn't know exactly what products we wanted. We had the majority of them, but there was a few that we didn't. So we had to get those set up. It's really as easy as going in there and hitting start. That's really as easy as it is. When you hit start, what's going to happen is the first thing that's going to happen is it dumps in 80 pounds of fresh water into the weigh tank. That 80 pounds of fresh water goes in there because some of the pesticides are thicker, and you want to have something in there to prime the pump, because that pump gets blown out every time. Gets rinsed and blown out. So you want the water in the bottom, and then it'll start going down the list of products in the order that they're on the blend ticket. It's all done by weight. There's no meters on anything. Everything in this system, with the exception of the main carrier and the mass flow meter, is all by weight. It'll pump every product that you need that we have in bulk or cage totes hooked up into that tank. If there's hand adds, smaller quantity items, things that we don't have in bulk, the system will pause and it'll say hand add. And then that is the time where you would dump that into the weigh tank. Sometimes we don't even want that product in the weigh tank. We add it in the sprayer. If it's going in a truck, we may not want that contamination from that product in the truck. If it's a 2.5, we might just send it out in a 2.5 and he can add it at the field. Once that's all in the tank, the system will really pause and the green lights will come on. There's a green light here. There's bottom fills on bay 1 and bay 2. There's top fills on bay 1 and bay 2. There's green control lights everywhere. You can start the system from any one of those. I can start it here, I can start it by the truck, I can start it on the computer in there. You can start the load anywhere. The main carrier line will kick in. The WAVAT will start pumping. If it's a smaller load or the WAVAT doesn't have time to pump out in the time that it takes to get the water into the truck, the water will pause with a set amount left. Currently we have it set as 1,000 pounds. So the water will shut off. This will continue pumping. It'll pump all the product up into the main carrier line. When that's done, flushed, rinsed out, blown out, because that line also gets blown out, the main carrier line will fire back up and pump the last 1,000 pounds of water into the tank, and then that whole line gets also blown out in the end. Everything ends up in the truck. When you select the load in there to start, you also select the bay that you want it to go to. So that's when you select bottom fill, top fill, bay 1, bottom fill, top fill, bay 2, and then you hit load and it starts. And then you wait until the green lights come on and you hit the green light and everything takes off. When it does its final air purge, there's air purge lights there. When those air purge lights go off, you shut the valves. There's a air pressure relief valve on the fitting. You open that up, air pressure comes off your lines and you can unhook. There is literally nothing left in the line. It's blown out. You unhook the line, there's no product, no water, nothing left. So now I shut the valves off, leave the air down.
Nice.
That's what's left in the hose. that's the process for the hot loads. Along with all of this, now we have our 6 5,000 gallon tanks. We have a repack station. So if Arlington wants to come and get 250 gallons of Power Max, we set a tote on there. We put an order in for 250 gallons of Power Max to the repack. You put the hose in and you press the button, hit start in there. It pumps 250 gallons in by weight. So once the Kailers are in the Eggman, or the tickets are in the Eggman system, they come to this screen. So this screen has all our orders. You would have the accounts, which I've currently got it set up for test, and then the orders, the requested amounts. So we will load this 50 gallons in a repack right now. So we click that, it brings up the next screen. We need to make sure that it is going to the repack scale. So now it is taking 50 gallons, 500 pounds of test product D out of the bulk tank. So it is as easy as hit load. And at this point now, the green light would be on that repack station out there. We'll go start it out there. You could also start it right here on the start compartment one. So we can go back out there. Really, one person can run this building. If we had trucks stacked up out there all day, one person could still run this building. The slowest part of the whole process is the weigh tank, because the product line, carrier line doesn't fire up until everything's in the weigh tank. It still pumps very, very fast. The main carrier, water, pumps at about 500 gallons a minute. Fertilizer pumps about 550 gallons a minute. We could load that truck in probably less than 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. We will be able to service our customers if they wanted to come in and get their own hot loads. Even in busy season, I don't see any reason we shouldn't be able to have them out of here in a very timely manner. You know, we will have more product availability in Amherst than we've ever had. We've never had a liquid facility here, fertilizer or bulk pesticide. So that would have always had to come from either Marshfield or Watoma or Anago, or go semi-load direct. So just the availability of product locally and efficiency.